I'll give myself 5 minutes of question. I'll just make an opening comment on, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. I like what I've heard so far. I think everybody, what we've all heard. I like the gold standard, the safety that we've seen for the past several years. I'm not going to ask you individually, but it would seem like you would all like to eventually have a boss. I mean, we don't have an administrator with the FAA. You haven't had one for several months now. I believe you have one, but the nominee isn't going anywhere. It's being delayed in the Senate. And I think it would be very, very important that this administration would find a nominee that could actually get Senate confirmation, because I understand he has an interesting past. But that's just my point on that. I would like to start with you, Mr. Bolter. According to a recent study, nearly 70% of general aviation accidents could have been prevented if aircraft had advanced digital safety systems. I know industry is working hard to develop auto landing, auto takeoff, and advanced navigation systems for general aviation aircraft, but are facing frustrating certification delays. A primary cause of delays is that various lines of business at the FAA must be engaged in reviews and often don't communicate effectively. So what is the agency doing to ensure that FAA lines of business better coordinate and work towards performing concurrent reviews on these life-saving technologies?
You know, I can only speak for what I'm doing and our team is doing is that, you know, we're looking at these as projects, right? That's where we are with AAM. We're looking across the agency. If it requires cross-agency coordination, it's a project. We're going to treat it as a project. We're going to expect, you know, that it continue to move along, depending on its priority. You know, these are life-saving, you know, some of the auto land and some of those things, emergency landing systems that are being built are really are game changers, right? We do, and we agree with you that the general aviation accident rate is too high. Even though it's been coming down, you know, even one death is too many, and that's a tragedy for whoever's involved. So I can certainly look at where we are in that, but you know, I know that with my colleagues at the management board in the FAA and the acting administrator and deputy administrator insisting upon that we do not, you know, act as we have in the past with stovepipes, and that we work as teams to deliver for the American public.
Fair enough. Mr. Bunce, I want to thank you, Colonel, for your service in the Air Force. It's my understanding, your bio, you're from Wisconsin. Southern Wisconsin, where is that? Where are you from?
Milwaukee, sir, but I'm a passionate Packer fan like you.
Yeah, got to get rid of that quarterback. He's no good anymore. Get rid of the quarterback. Gamma has significant experience working with companies seeking FAA certification for advanced safety systems. In previous testimony, sir, you explained that certification delays are often caused because the FAA doesn't have the correct group of technical experts engaged early in the process. Can you explain how this issue impacts the certification of new entrants and advanced safety technologies by the FAA? And how would you suggest, sir, this committee utilize the upcoming FAA reauthorization to address this problem?
Well, sir, I addressed in my opening remarks, when we go ahead and we have this delay in the rulemaking, we go ahead and require Mr. Bolter's people to be able to do all kinds of things like special conditions, exemptions, things like that, that suck away all the specialists that we could have working on this new technology. So to me, the most important thing that we can do is for this committee, and they've done so in the past in different reauthorizations, call for a 90-day review of the internal processes, not only within the FAA, but what then needs to go to the department in rulemaking. And then when things do start getting delayed, then the process between the department and the White House to be able to promulgate these rules. And what we're seeing is just we're delaying and delaying, and then we start to add more rules to that existing rule, which further delays it, and it does have a negative impact on safety.
Fair enough, thank you. I'll finish with Ms. Homendy. I'm looking at your budget. FY22 is 121.4. FY23, you have 129.3. Is that enough? Are we good?
It is not enough. The 129 actually came down to 127 because we had to pay for recovery of an aircraft because insurance didn't pay for it. We don't have the resources that we need. We have asked for $145 million for FY 2024, which will help us improve training and get more people on board at the agency.
Okay, thank you. I now yield to Ms. Hoyle. You have 5 minutes.